Now that we've reviewed some of the motor guide to estimating included items in operation calculation, let's discuss something you may not be aware of. Did you know that the estimating sequence can have an effect on the total dollar amount? Remember, when we discussed the motor guide to estimating, it stated that clear coat calculation for the first panel in the estimate is 40% of the base refinish time and 20% for each panel after that. Keeping that in mind, let's take a look at this estimate. Our current estimate sits at $747.53. Our fender is the first panel and our hood is the second, so the fender is getting the 40% clear time while the hood is getting a half an hour. If we remove the hood from the estimate and re-enter it as the first line on the estimate, our estimate total is now at $787.58. And the hood now is getting 1.2 hours of clear coat while the fender is getting 3/10. We gained $40 on this estimate by simply utilizing our knowledge of how CCC calculates its clear coat. Another common question is about the bumper refinish prompt and how it affects the estimate. When refinishing a bumper, you're going to be prompted with a question. Will this be refinished as a separate procedure, yes or no? By selecting yes, the bumper will be refinished as a separate procedure. The estimate will not count the bumper as the first panel, nor will it take any overlap. So you will get 40% clear calculation on the bumper and 40% clear calculation on the first panel of the estimate. If you select no, the bumper will not be refinished as a separate procedure. The bumper will be counted as the first panel if it is the first panel, and overlap may be taken as certain operations included in the base time may not be needed twice. A few examples of these operations would be mixing the paint, loading the sprayer, or even cleaning the gun. So let's take a peek at what that would look like. Add the bumper refinish to the first panel of the estimate. Here's the prompt. Will be refinished in a separate procedure from other panels. If we hit yes, notice that the bumper is currently getting 40% clear coat, and if I look down to the hood, it is also getting 40% clear coat. And there also is no overlap. If I delete the bumper and re-enter it to the estimate, only this time hit no, notice that the bumper has 40% clear coat, but the hood has dropped down to 20% and there is overlap on the panel as certain operations were not needed twice. Remember, the decision on which to select is a discussion that needs to be made with your insurance partner and can be affected by such items as if the vehicle is a two-tone or even a multi-stage paint. One other item to look out for is if your estimate is automatically being put in a front-to-back or back-to-front sequence, or if you are not seeing the bumper refinish prompt when adding bumpers to your estimate, it's a setting within your shop profile. I recommend getting with your system admin, or if you have admin access, going into your repair facility profile and adjust it in the settings.